Hi-ho, guys and gals. How you doing tonight? Welcome back to the Den of Tools. See, make sure everything's all in focus and everything here. How y'all doing? We got a bunch of people in the house. Let's say howdy, everyone. Oh, Ryan's here. LD made it here. Futano to Antonio's in the house. Samuel Crisp is here. Frank Landgraf's in the house. Who else we got here? This is sausage. But is it? Chaka's in the house. Josh Wright. Weir Fuller. Matto Little Elk Wells. Okay. Scott Hash is in the house. Die Diz is here. Who else we got here? Da-da-da. And what is going on here? This is weird. Hold on, folks. Something weird's going on with my screen. Well, that's funky. I can see stuff over here. There we go. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, let's try this again. Is everyone receiving me loud and clear? Is this all working for everyone? Oh my gosh. Anyway, the missus will be here in a little bit. She's dropping off the kids. Good evening, everybody. We're here tonight to do our regular Tool Talk Live that we try to do every Sunday. And we're also going to be talking about what's going on with Black Friday deals. Some predictions. We're going to be, reaching out into the Ethereum realms there and trying to figure out what's going on. Let's see here. Just good evening by the way, for everyone, if you type at the Den of Tools, as it says above, I will actually read those comments. I don't have a chance to read all of the comments there. So, Marty says, good evening from Spokane. Homily says, good evening, sir. Frank Landgraf says, hello. What are the plans with the Craftsman drawer? I don't know. I guess I could leak it to you guys. It's really, I'll be honest. So the plans are kind of changing, maybe. I originally got it because my intent was to use it for my brew center for home brewing and distilling, which is why I was looking for something with a metal top. Unfortunately, after I got it, I found out when you take the rubber cover off of it, there's a ton of holes in the metal top for mounting the top cabinet. And I guess some other stuff. And I think somebody said you can get a wood top for it, but I haven't seen that. I've got a second cabinet that I've had for quite some time. That's the old Yukon 2-drawer cabinet. And I left it at the house when we moved into the new shop thinking it would be the house workshop. But we're coming into winter here. We've already had our first big snowfall. And it lives outside covered by a tarp because we don't have a garage or any kind of workspace outside of the house. Back there. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to get cleaned up as best it can. It's going to come down here and it's going to be the new brew center, and the Craftsman's just going to be the general work surface, work area kind of stuff. Or I could move the charging station down there because currently the charging station's on my other cabinet and it's the entire top of the cabinet. I'm trying to put in some, I've got some wall control boards I'm putting up. So some of it may live up there. We'll have to see how that goes. So as far as brewing, I didn't mention it before. Anvil sent us their Foundry electric brew system, which is, so I used to be, okay, full disclosure for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure a lot of you do. I'm the author of the best-selling book in the world on home distilling, making moonshine. And I've also written a book on how to make beer. And we did some stuff with wine. I wasn't happy with it. It's not really out there much anymore. But I got out of it because, it's a lot of work. It really is. And, it's, I don't know. It's one of those things. You get out of it, you come back into it, you get out of it, you come back into it. And these new advents, they have new yeasts, they have new brew systems, and it's a lot simpler than it used to be. So I'm really looking forward to jumping back into it. All right, let's see here. Where was I here? We got $10 from Short Circuited Brewers. Curious if you've used the Anvil Foundry yet. No, I have not. I decided to hold off. I wanted to get some accessories. They did not send me the recirculating kit, and I definitely wanted to have the recirculating kit. I also ordered a second top because I've got the T500 distilling system for it that uses the top that's on it. And it's a real pain to take that thing off and on. So I wanted to have two tops, one top for brewing, one top for distilling. And I had to get, all the other accoutrement because I've been out of the brew game for quite some time. So trying to get all the other stuff rounded up and back into it. My hope is that brewing will happen this week now that I've got an area set up for it. We just redid that whole section of the shop over there. I got to do a shop tour so you guys can understand the layout. It's a weird layout. There's this spot here that goes straight behind me, and then there's the spot you saw the fireplace. That's actually over there, and it's up like 3 feet up. It's like a loft area, and we kind of actually set up as a study area and sitting area for the kids and to hang out, have a cigar, relax. Not when the kids are here. And then the other area down over that way is all storage workbenches and stuff like that. Let's see here. Let me go back here through these other ones. Anyway, thank you again for the support. Really appreciate it. And I lost my place. Where was I? Edgar says, we hear you loud and clear. LaChatbot's in the house. Hey, Linda, how you doing? David says, hey, Jeff. Build It with Brian says, how you liking the Anvil Foundry? I haven't used it yet, but I can tell you from the build and everything else, putting it together, it looks pretty darn cool. I don't know if you were here early when I had the little shot. I guess I can show you the fireplace again. Let me go over there. So there's the fireplace, and let me kill this so you don't need the countdown timer anymore. That thing next to the fireplace, that gray thing over there, that is actually an electric cooler. It's like an igloo cooler kind of thing, except you plug it in, and it plugs into a car, plugs in at home, and it will freeze stuff solid. So my plan is to fill it half full with water, freeze it, put some more water in it in the morning, and then that's going to be my chill recycling tank. And then I'm going to be using the Bauer pump for recycling that water, because that's in a closed loop system that doesn't actually touch the beers or the mash or whatever it is you're making. Anyway, I'll save that for another time. Let's see here. Steven says, we got you. Frank says, you sound marvelous. Marvelous, I say. Amelie says, good evening, sir. Andrew Miller says, evening. Chad says, hi. Mark says, buy your Taiwan-made tools before it's too late. Yeah. China's looking at annexing. The old guy says, the sound is great tonight. Awesome. Actually, let me I'll point her microphone away from me so you're not getting any echo off of it. She should be here any minute. Thanks for your sharing plans, Tide Bounce says, thank you. Bullwinkle says, give it away and get the U.S. General. My one plan was so I've got, if you guys remember, I reviewed the Tecton cart or cabinet, I think it was last year, the year before, and a buddy of mine here locally, he got it. Tecton gave him a deal for buying it just so that I could review it. Unfortunately, as happens a lot around here, they were renting their house and they lost their house due to people wanting to sell their houses because they're like winning the lottery. You're sitting on this house, you bought it for $200,000. Suddenly somebody wants to pay you $600,000 or $1 million for it. So their landlord sold the house out from under them. They had to find a new place within 30 days. They landed in a great place. Don't worry about that. But he lost most of his workshop. So I traded him my U.S. General, the 26-inch full stack plus a bunch of cash for the Tecton. So I've got the Tecton cart, I've got a Yukon cart, and I've got the Craftsman. I was thinking about getting a U.S. General so I can have high level, a medium level, and a low level, and compare all three. And let's see here. Fizzle says, love all the deals, videos you got unlocked. Thank you, sir. Chad says, just picked up the Harbor Freight 44-inch roller blue and heavy-duty tarp using this weekend's coupons, ITC, plus credit money made it an awesome deal. Yeah, that was a great deal. It was really hard for me not to get the Yukon cart, but I was just buying one cart. Honestly, I did go to Harbor Freight this weekend to pick up a bunch of smaller stuff, and every single thing I went for was out of stock. I was even going to pick up that the log, what do you call it? Not cutter, chopper, whatever, and that was out of stock as well. Brad says, I wanted to say thank you for your daily posts. Always good info. Thank you very much, sir. Infernal Craftsman, how you doing, man? He said the Craftsman boxes have some good sale prices, but the pull handles are sized for kids, size fingers to operate. I got to tell you, so that black and red Craftsman just calls to me. Like, just, it's unreal. I walk through the aisles at Lowe's, and I see it, and I go, oh, I want that. But it's nothing rational. And I looked at it, and I knew, and I'm like, okay, it's got to be slightly better than the the Yukon stuff. And it is slightly, but here's the one thing. I'll give you a early look on this. I'm not going to show it to you, but I'll tell you about it. The bolts for mounting the wheels and the handle on the side are not bolts. They're screws. There's some sort of material on the backside. I got to take it apart and figure out what it is that they screw into. And I can tell you that because I already ran one of the screws in and it started spinning. Why not bolts? The Yukons have bolts. The U.S. Generals have bolts. Everybody uses bolts. Craftsman, you've got screws, and I don't know what's on the backside. I don't know how long that's going to hold up. That is absolutely ridiculous. Recommendations for a smart light that works with the Amazon Echo. Sorry, I thought I said her name. I just set mine up in here. Let's see if she's listening. Alexa. She's not working. I was having problems with her earlier. Or I may have turned off that power bar that she was connected to. As far as lights that work, I don't know. So I bought just like an LED light bulb. I just went on Amazon, typed in Amazon, was it she who shall not be named, compatible light bulb. And I wanted an LED changing one. And I bought one for like $10, $15. And I used it as my studio light in our shop in Vegas because I was filming in the garage. And so what I did was I took a floor lamp and I put it right next to the door to the garage. I put a color changing light, and red meant do not come in. Yellow meant I'm working. If you're going to come in, it has to be, for a real reason. Don't bother me, kid. I'm working. I joke, but just to give them a warning, like they're not walking in and I'm running a saw or something. And then green was, it's safe. You can come in and go as you please. We got the Guitarge. Guess I picked a bad time to quit drinking. Yes, you did. What do we got? Wohawks in the house. Good night, mein Herr. And the sports guy says, what's your opinion on the best tools for tire front end technicians? I need some stuff to make jobs easier since I'm only 19 years old. All right, I'm going to tell you this. I am not a professional mechanic. I've never been a professional mechanic. I have done stuff professionally. I was a professional carpenter. I did what we now call low voltage electrical kind of stuff. I've also rebuilt several houses on my own. I'm on my the house we live in now. The house was built in 1890, and we're currently rebuilding it. So I can tell you what my opinion on that kind of stuff is, but I'm by no means an actual mechanic with years of experience. But that said, what I find is it's not that hard for about anybody to figure out what is a good tool. The question is that the right tool for your job? I would go talk to any of the other YouTubers who are mechanics. Justin Dow is one of my favorites. He's a professional mechanic. I would go over to his channel and ask him. As far as the quality of tools, any of the tool truck alternatives. The Tecton, the Harbor Freight Icon line, the Capri stuff, any of that stuff, any of this new made in Taiwan upper level kind of stuff, they're making excellent tools. The Short Circuit Brewer says, sweet, I'm electric. Well, Short Circuit Brewers, I guess. And I get that running on propane is faster and stuff like that, but it's messier. You got to haul it out outside. Here in the winter, it gets pretty cold up in Montana. Nobody wants to brew outside. Propane's nice, but nobody wants to brew outside. And trying to keep that temperature with the wind blowing around here, forget about it. Now, if you can get 220, That'd be pretty cool. I do not have 220 currently in the shop, but there is a 220 box there. And I got to figure out what we can do if we can tap into it and run over there. That's the main line coming in off the curb. This building that I'm in was built in 1905, if I'm not mistaken. And it's the back half of a kind of a warehouse space in downtown Livingston. So totally up to code. Dwayne Tolson says, Dwayne Eaton, Ohio. Cool. Wings Pizza said, with your IT background, you ever think about starting a channel that specifically deals with home tech? No. Home automation is something I'm interested in. I play with it a lot. It's just, I'm so burned out on tech. You have no idea. I play with tech. I go through spurts and stuff. I would not want to run a channel that was devoted entirely to tech. Bullwinkle says, haven't heard of your opinion of Quick Jacks or Mac Jacks. I've not used either, so I can't really say. Camry says, what do you think of Campbell Hausfeld air compressors? Well, the big industrial stuff, pretty good. The small retail stuff, not so much. I don't think they make them themselves anymore. I think what's happened is they've OEM'd their name out or sold their name out to OEM companies that slap it on some consumer grade stuff. And that stuff it's all right. You know, it's home gamer DIY kind of stuff, but it's nothing fantastic. Excuse me. I had cough drops around here. I got one left. Throttle Power says, really enjoying the vids. Keep up the great work. Thank you, sir. Let's see here. No Black Friday. There will be a Black Friday. We're going to get into that here in just a minute as soon as I get caught up on these comments. Hey, Lone Wolf. Hey, the wolf is here. Good evening, brother. How are you doing? I'm doing great. It's so good to see you. Glad to see you're back. At Short Circuit Brewer. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of brewing stuff on this channel, and then I'm going to transition it over to my other channel, which is called The Bear's Den. There should be a link. If there's not a link in this video's description, it might not be because it's a live stream. If you go to any of the other videos that I do, and you scroll down through the video description, there's a link to the Bear's Den. And that's going to have, so I'm going to do the intro stuff to home brewing and intro to home distilling there, but then all the subsequent stuff is going to be over on the other channel. Let's see here. James says, I just started watching you. I can't wait to hear your opinions on Black Friday when they come out. We did get quite a lot of information since I did that the video for the Home Depot. I've been talking to a lot of people. I had a lot of people reach out to me who work in the industry, who work in retail, who work at Home Depot, who work at Lowe's, who work at Best Buy, and a lot of other retailers. And we got a lot of insider information. These weren't people just at the cash registers or people on the floor. I got some guys who are district managers telling me what's going on. Bullwinkle says, I want the Icon Toolbox. The Icon Toolbox is fantastic. I don't want to have to pay for it. Now, Harbor Freight did send me one, and I loved having it. Now, I sold it when we transitioned most of our stuff up here to Montana because shipping it up here was just ridiculous. It wasn't going to happen. And I'd had it for a year, and I figured it was better somebody else play with it because, as I said, I'm not a full-time mechanic. I don't need that level of toolbox. The Tecton that I have, I don't need that level of a toolbox. I'd be just fine with the U.S. General. But I was helping a buddy out, and and between doing the swap with my U.S. General for his plus cash, it was a good deal for everyone involved. I will say I like the Icon better, but the Tecton, for having to, when you have to move it, those drawers just pop out. It is fantastic moving a Tecton box, which I realize I can't remember, some Canadian company actually makes it. Prepper POV, any tool bag suggestions, or do you even prefer them over things like pack-out systems and Rolexes? I have basics. You know what? You're probably not going to like my answer, but I just buy like the missus is here. Shh, everyone, let's stop talking about her. I just buy like the basic bags from Harbor Freight. Let me see if I can pull it up here and figure out what it was. It's the Harbor Freight, the Voyager bags. You know, they have a 15-inch, 14. I've had those. In fact, I was just going through a stack as I was rearranging a stack of bags. And I've got some Husky bags. I've got a ton of Voyager bags. And then I've got miscellaneous tool bags that, tools came in. I do have a bunch of the VersaStack boxes, but I don't really use those for portability so much as for mobility around the shop or moving from the shop to someplace else. Can I help you? Am I in your way? Yeah. Hold on, everybody. Time out.
Don't mind me.
Did you bring me snacks?
They're next to you.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Oh, there are. Oh, it's McDonald's. I was hoping for something like pumpkin bread. Will you grab me a soda too? Are these nuggets?
Oh, I gave you the wrong guy. Don't mind us. Super professional. Obviously, I'm being fired from craft services.
Fired. Come on. Sit down.
Is my mic on? Probably not.
Yeah, it is.
Goodness gracious.
Come on.
Sorry.
Hold the base while you do that so it doesn't pop off again. I'm just warning you.
You got any other?
Yeah, scoot over, old lady.
Did you call me an old lady?
Yep, sure did.
Yes. That'll be his last line.
Sorry, I didn't mean to crunch that cough drop in your face there.
Good evening. Sorry, I'm a little tardy to the party.
Let's be honest. She's a medium-sized tardy.
Whatever.
All right.
Did you read Shaka's super chat?
Nope.
Did you read? Oh, it looks like maybe there's more than one. Shaka with a $2 super chat says, "Good evening, Bear. Ryobi tools are trash." I'm surprised by this information. Hey, Shaka. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And Short Circuited Brewers, $5 super chat says, "I'm pretty tight with Anvil. I can see if I can get you a recirculation kit." Cool. Thank you.
I appreciate the offer, and honestly, I could have gotten one because they sent me the Anvil kit, and the extra lid. But I actually went ahead and bought the recirculating kit on my own, and a bunch of other stuff too. So, yeah,
Thank you.
I've spent almost as much on all the accessories and accoutrement to go with brewing as I did as the cost for the actual brewer. Harlem asked, did anyone else have issues getting the extra percentage off with Harbor Freight coupons this weekend? I had issues in that nothing I wanted was in stock. Spectre Air says, is it worth getting the extended warranty for the U.S. General Tool Cart? Is it true it covers cosmetic damage? I don't know about that. And honestly, I have issues with these carts, especially the U.S. General. U.S. General is it's a tank. It's an absolute tank. Have you seen what I did to mine? We dragged it back and forth from Vegas to Montana, back to Vegas, back to Montana. I mean, it went all over the place. And we stored it outside, covered with a tarp. Tarp blew off. It got rained on. We drained the water out of it. All sorts of stuff. And it's still, once you wipe it down, clean it up, works like it's new. Unless you're really abusing these carts, I don't know why you need really a warranty. The Craftsman one I just got comes with a 10-year warranty, and I'm like, that one's a little flimsier. I could see perhaps using the warranty on that, but the reality is, the only thing that's really going to fail on these things is that they're going to cover might be the rails, because if the drawer itself breaks or so they'll say you abused it. If you dent the outside, it's abused. Now with Harbor Freight, they're less likely to be like that. But then you got to take that whole box and haul it back. So, and it's only a 2-year warranty. So,
Didiz says my mic is not on. So, do you see it on there? We are doing a mic check. Mic check.
Keep talking.
The Tin Barn says, you, Mr. Bear, have trees growing out of your head. Maybe Mrs. Bear?
I don't.
I have antlers. Some glittery antlers.
Can anybody hear her? Because
Our
seeing
technical stuff says you guys should be able to hear us. Yep. So let me know if you still can't hear us. And thank you, Didiz, for giving us a heads up.
Will you read the new stuff? I'm going to catch up here. Did anyone else have issue? Okay, we talked about that. We got our house, Submarine Vest says, we got our house for $85K back in 95. Folks keep bothering me for $325. Yeah. Futon 2 says, when I walk into my friend's house and always say, Alexa, play Slayer. Works every time. Tim says, you woke up our echo. I bet I did again. Sorry about that. Scott says, check out Wiz at the Big Orange store, and we will take a look at that. Frank says, how do you feel about used routers? Any recommendations? For corded routers, I have no problem with corded routers. I find that they usually do fairly well and usually don't pay a whole lot for them unless it's one of the higher end ones. In fact, every router I have right now, I got used. The Spectre Air says, what are your thoughts about the Keter modular rolling toolbox? Is that the plastic one we showed before? If it's the one I showed on the deals of the week, it seems like a decent, budget solution. In fact, don't show it to my wife because she has a thing for these plastic drawer kind of things. She would definitely, that would be like her, ultimate, storage thing.
Who, me?
No, my other wife.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
James says, my coworkers and I were actually talking about Craftsman tools and how their quality is not what it used to be by a long shot. No, not even close. We're still hoping for once they get this plant in, whatchamacallit. I'm going to pivot the camera because I'm completely going off screen there. The new plant in Texas, once they get that thing rolled up to speed, hopefully we're going to see some higher quality stuff. We'll have to see. Let's see here. Guitarge says it's actually the Guitar DJ. Sorry for the difficult name. I like Guitarge better, but we'll do Guitar DJ if you like.
Like in Norwegian.
It is. It is. Hey, everyone, give the live stream a like. It's free, and it helps the metrics. For the metrics.
That's totally right.
Short Circuit versus not on 240. It's just as fast. Talking about the versus the propane. Bullwinkle says they're going to have to pry my commercial Toro mower from my cold, dead paws. If you're in California, they might.
Just a reminder to do at the Den of Tools so that we can easily see your comments.
Yeah. And it has to be the Den of Tools. We are Fuller said at Den of Tools, and I just happened to look at it and see it, but it doesn't. Literally, it pops up in that orange bubble on our screen, so that's why we know. What is the best welder to begin with? There's a couple different thoughts on that. I think that the easiest welder to start with, and by far, is the flux core wire feed. It's a hot glue gun of a welder. You take it, you set it up, and you go, and that's it. And you can learn and you can get better and stuff. Stick welders, a lot of people say, well, you should learn on stick because then you really learn to control your arc. I can learn to control my arc at any time. It's kind of ridiculous to sit there and go, well, I need to learn to control my arc before I do anything else, because on a lot of these, you don't really have to control that much of an arc on a MIG and a flux core, stuff like that. I'm not saying that there isn't one there, but it's not the same kind of art like it is with a TIG and a stick welder. The Short Circuit Brewers, what are the brewing distilling books names? Cool, I'll check out the other channel. It's the Home Distiller's Guide to, I just forgot, the Home Distiller's Workbook, your guide to making moonshine, whiskey, vodka, rum, and so much more. There's a link in the video description of all my videos. Also, if you want the ebook version, you can get it off of Amazon. You can get the paperback version off of Amazon. You can also order the ebook version off of our website at denatools.com/store. Fruitman58 says, I heard you said that you have a good relationship with Delta, so I was wondering if you've heard when the 36 725 TS will be available in Canada. Honestly, not sure if it's going to be. They seem to be putting all their production capacity into the new rigid version, which is, as far as I can tell, almost the same saw.
Sorry.
Shut up, Moto. I don't know if you can see it behind me here. Let me... One moment, please.
Ow.
Oh. Right there.
What are you doing?
Very.
Lunatic.
Anyway, so I have in the box still. I've still not unboxed the saw itself, but I have that table saw in the rigid. If anything, that's what's going to show up, I would guess, because that's where all the production capacity is coming from. Mark Olson says, that's the bear's story to the wife, and he's sticking to it, just helping a buddy out. Thank you, sir.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I know who you are, Mark. I see you.
Frank said hi to you, by the way.
Hey, Frank. And thank you, everyone who commented that you guys can now hear me. Awesome. My phone's going to die. Is there a
Steven says, have a Masterforce tool mag I use for my work stuff. I keep forgetting about Menards. I got to get more of their stuff. It's too bad they're like, 5 hours away? 4 or 6 hours. I can't remember which one.
It's not next door.
It's not.
Yeah.
Gary says, good evening. Doug says, you totally rock. Thanks for the tips and the content. Frank says, if she's old, you're really old. Well, having lived in California, I can say hella old is how we'd say it.
Just ask our children.
Good,
We're really old.
The guitar DJ. Howdy to Mrs. Toolbear.
Hey.
The Infernal Craftsman says, the Flying Half says, she is sorry she isn't watching Mrs. DeBear. She is napping before her flight back from Bogota. Ooh,
Bogota,
that sounds
Colombia.
cool. Hear her just fine. Excellent. Ned says, I scored the Vulcan Omni Pro today for basically $800. That's awesome,
Wow.
man. I'd love to get my paws on that. The Infernal Craftsman says the new skill routers are the same ones they've sold under the Craftsman name. Are they really? He says, I have several, and they're very good routers, no complaints. I have honestly heard lots of people come back and say, now no one's before you has told me that they're just the Craftsman one, which is not surprising because if you didn't know this, Skill is owned by Shervon now, and they're made by Shervon. Shervon was one of the OEM, was I think the OEM for Craftsman, the old Sears Craftsman line of power tools. They didn't make all of them, but they made most of them. So I'm not surprised to hear you say, hey, they just rebranded that as the new Skill. I'm going to have to pick one of those up now to take a look at it. Let's see here. What?
Hang on. So we have a $5 super chat from, I'm wondering if there's a way to pronounce this. Is it The Hollow? It's
You got to use your elite speak.
3 HOL7OW.
Tahalos.
Tahalos? Okay. $5 super chat said, I was gifted a 20-gallon Goodyear air compressor. Is it a decent air compressor? I was unaware that Goodyear made pneumatic tools.
Goodyear doesn't. They've sold their name to an OEM who's selling stuff by branding it with their name. Probably the same people who were doing the stuff with Camel Hausfeld. That said, I've not been paws on with them, as it were, but I've taken a look at them. They look okay for consumer grade stuff. I mean, but that's it. They're not prosumer, definitely not high end kind of stuff. They are, use it every once in a while. I just, kind of need an air compressor kind of thing. If you're going to be using an air compressor on a daily or even weekly basis, I would probably jump up to something better than that.
And the original poster said, yes, it is the Hollow. It says, yes, the Hollow. It's a gamer tag. Super cool. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And
I speak elite.
I don't. That's why I'm like, I think this is the name. And also, please, please, please feel free to correct me if I say your name wrong.
Can I correct you?
No, we're married. That's illegal. No.
Here's
But
a question of the
everyone
day.
else-
Did you bring any bourbon with you?
That is a negative, Ghost Rider.
Dang it. Cherry. Was not expecting the cherry. Denny's Plant-Based Journey says, recommendations for an affordable set of power tools for my son and son-in-law. Christmas present, Ryobi set, best bang for the buck. Ryobi's good, Hart's good, Bauer's good. I will say this right now, there are screaming deals on Ryobi going on at Home Depot. I know Chaka hates them with a passion, but a lot of people use them and have good luck with them. There have just been some fantastic deals going on with Ryobi. I even joked that it's better than Ryobi days right now, the deals that they're having on the Ryobi stuff. You can get a 6-7-piece tool set for $200. It's hard not to like that sort of thing. Sean says, just bought myself paint sprayer to work on a cabinet build. Should I take it back and see if there will be any deals on Black Friday? If you got a good deal on it, no, you shouldn't. If you didn't get a good deal and you can wait, yeah, but you're not going to have to wait till Black Friday, because that's one of the things we're talking about. And let me get into that here, because I'm never going to catch up here, I don't think.
You're a wee bit behind.
I'm a little bit behind, but the first bit I want to talk about is, here's the first thing I've heard for sure. And I've gotten this from several different people. And hold on, my mic is a little peaky. There we go. So what I heard was, and I predicted this when I talked about the Home Depot Black Friday, and that is that they're going to do the same game plan they did last year. Now, in previous years, what we saw was it was pretty much the week before, and they would that whole week there'd be like deals every day that whole week, with the big doorbuster deals on Thursday and Friday at different stores. Well, there's been a lot of pushback to companies about being open on Thanksgiving. So a lot more companies, thank goodness, are now closed on Thanksgiving. I think it's ridiculous that they have these deals on Thanksgiving. I understand gas stations having to be open, and maybe supermarkets doing a half day kind of stuff, but everything else should close. That's just all there is to it. But what we saw last year was they strung it out because they didn't know what kind of response there would be, and they didn't want too many people in the store at one time. Well, I think they got a really good response to that, and they saw sales, pretty high sales for instead of like for a week, they saw it for 6 weeks, and they're like, this is awesome. We're going to do this again. On top of that, now here's the key part. They're already having staffing shortages. Mm-hmm. They're not being able to get enough people in the door to work right now. My local Walmart they're just dying every time. They get shipment in every day, and every day it is a war to get that stuff out on the floor. They're running over people in the store. Usually they would do this at night, right? Mm-hmm. They would run it out at night, but they're having to do it in the middle of the day because it takes the entire day now because they don't have as many people. Mm-hmm. Well, come Black Friday, they're not going to be able to open all those registers. They're not going to have people to work the entire day. A lot of people are just like, no, I don't want to work, or I don't need the job, or whatever's going on. Companies can't get employees as it is, much less for the holidays. So they've got to get the sales now when they A, have the items in stock, and B, have people to work.
Right.
So I'm already seeing pre-Black Friday sales. In fact, I was going to show you one. If I can figure out where I put the screen.
While you're looking that up, I just wanted to give a shout out to Didiz and Frank. They were giving people the Bears Den information. Frank listed a link to the other channel. So thank you so much. I know people were asking about that. You guys are awesome.
Okay, let me see if I can put this up here. Maybe not.
So what else do I see?
There we go. All right.
Didiz, I love you.
Let me change the size on this. I'll cover myself up rather than the misses there.
What?
Yeah.
Both of us are covered up.
I'm working on it, lady.
Shenanigans.
I'm going to show your nanigans here in a minute. All right. So there, you can see the antlered girl next to me. And this is Farm and Home Supply. So Farm and Home Supply is a regional farm and home supply company. Love the name, by the way. I'm a big fan of just going straight to the core of the conversation and all these fancy names and stuff. But they're in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. I think they've got a dozen or so stores. But this is something we're going to start seeing more and more. Pre-Black Friday, look for this badge to say, but you're going to start seeing these. This is October 22nd to 24th is the truckload feed sale. These are going to be, you're going to start seeing these crop up everywhere. I've got some other ones I'm going to be probably talking about coming up this week. You want the stock pods?
No, actually, I wanted the stainless bottles, but I also wanted to point out Ladies' Day.
Ladies' Day.
Which is always super awesome. And your
Ladies
opportunity
get in free.
to enter to win $1,000 shopping spree. So I'm just saying, if you're a lady, check it out. $1,000. It's a good deal.
And look at this. They've got the Burn Canyon Sherpa vest, lined vest, for those of you who only your core gets hot, but your arms are like, no, I'm totally warm.
And it also goes up to 6X. So it sells it in the larger sizes. So that is an awesome deal, actually.
We got the portable stand there. We got the house. Here we got some Dewalt stuff. I don't know if you see it. We got, you buy any of these bear tools. We got the bear tools. We got the
bare necessities. Oh, sorry.
We get the chainsaw, the blower, and the pressure washer there. And you get I think it's a 5 amp hour. Yep, 5 amp hour 20 volt max. We got the safe over there for $600. We have the Escort right below that. I believe that's a Ford Escort. It's in the same quality range as that. Now this is a let's call it a manual transmission on that, so you might have to pump the clutch on it. Mm-hmm. Now I do know that these are discount the drive line on these. Let's call it that is made in Turkey. And if you don't understand why I'm being circuitous about these comments, then you don't understand YouTube. Anyway, $160 for a budget Ford Escort is a pretty good deal.
Yep.
Anyway, they got more than this.
Bragg's
So much more.
apple cider vinegar is always a good deal. I don't know if $4.99 is a great deal.
Page?
Is it a screenshot?
No.
Nope. There we go.
Page.
Also, Brandon Wilson with the $4.99 super chat, to which you wrote 50.00. Not really sure what that's in relation to, but thank you so much for the
Good cent.
$4.99 super chat. And I don't know if you are a longtime viewer and know that I am a weirdo about not having even numbers. Thank you so much.
She's just a weirdo. Let's
Just
be
a
entirely
weirdo.
honest.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. We got blinds. We got tree stands. We have more Ford Escorts.
Is this only in store?
I don't know. I don't know if you can order it online.
I'm just saying, I'm seeing some things that perhaps I don't want to purchase.
I like the fire pits.
Yeah, that's totally what I was looking at.
What were you looking at?
I'm not telling you.
Yeah, the blinds.
Santa
for
says, no one said it's for you.
me? Anyway. All right. So the point of this, we'll get it out of that. The point of this was to show you that this is what's coming up. This is what we're going to start seeing. We're going to start seeing more and more of these pre-Black Friday events. And I think we're going to see week by week different stores. And stores are going to have multiple ones. They're going to release it this week. I could see a case where we see it every week from some stores. And I know for a fact Home Depot is planning on doing this. Lowe's is planning on doing this. Harbor Freight, what do you think Harbor Freight just did with this weekend sale? Do you think you're going to see 15% off or better? You think you're going to see 20% off on U.S. General before Black Friday? No, I mean, that's the deal. That's the deal. And of course, it's 6:43 here, so practically end of day for that. So if you missed out on it, I'm sorry. But we did a video on it telling you to go and buy it because that's what we're going to start seeing. Once they have it in stock, they're going to sell it because they don't know about getting stock in after that. All right.
Right. Shaka with another $2.43 super chat
Chaka.
says Ryobi is still garbage.
Still garbage.
Thank you. I super appreciate it. Uneven numbers. It's awesome.
Mohawk says, chomp the like button. It supports your right to bear arms or to arm bears, whatever it takes. Dwayne says, what do you think of the electric tools by Worx? I think, so I've had some of the outdoor power equipment. In fact, one of the, what would we have? We had one of the trimmers and a blower by them. And it was actually, they work pretty cool. One thing I like about them is they're not afraid to try new things. The Worx Robo Mower is one of the best robo mowers for the budget. I mean, for under $1,000, if you got a basically flat yard and lawn yard is yawn, and you could just set this thing. You could literally set it and forget it. It does your yard. It comes back. It charges itself, and it's done. And a lot of people are like, well, I can't cut a real yard. Well, what you don't understand is it cuts the yard more often, so it never lets it grow to the point where it needs a high horsepower mower.
Brandon Wilson, holy cheese and crackers, $49.99
wow.
super chat. And I have to say,
With
I
the
have
pear.
never seen this pear graphic. Okay, I'm a super dork. I love hippos. I love ferrets. I love otters. And there's this little like pear emoji, which you guys can all see. And it's like beating all the little buildings. Thank you so much for the $50 or $49.99. Don't worry. Super chat. Thank you so much. Super appreciate that and love the graphic.
That's awesome.
I'm a dork. I know.
She is a huge dork. And I married her, so what does that make me? What trades have you been in? I thought we just covered this. I was a carpenter. Now, I never did new construction. The teams I worked on, we rehabbed older buildings and sold them to yuppies. And then I transitioned from that into what today would be called low voltage electrical, running optics and Cat 5, Cat 6 kind of line. I worked running that for school systems and then in commercial buildings in the San Francisco area. And then I eventually transitioned into full IT server work kind of stuff and then on from there.
Just a heads up to Brandon Wilson. I think you've posted your question twice. I see this one is at the Den of Tools. We're just behind. Don't think we forgot you.
No, we'll get
as long as it says at the Den of Tools, we will read it. We're just behind. And I'll shut up now.
Aiden says, like the Chicago electricians at HFT. I think he means the Chicago Electric. If there are Chicago electricians going to Harbor Freight, he likes you as well. Jason Ferguson says, Harbor Freight has a 13-inch drill press on sale. Is that a good first drill press, or is the 10-inch version better? The bigger, in my book, is almost always better. As far as what's a good first one, either one of those will be fine as a good first one if you're getting a good deal on it. Whatchamacallit, I don't know if it's still on sale, but we talked about last week, there was a rigid 15-inch for like $3.50, and currently I think the 17-inch is like $3.50. I don't know what your budget is. That 8-inch drill press they have is a great little bench drill press. I've had several of them, and the only reason I've had more than one is because we moved around a bunch. I still have my 17-inch Harbor Freight drill press sitting right next to me. And that thing is an absolute beast.
I actually love that thing.
And I got that for $125 open box back in the store. So a 13-inch one, be fantastic.
Futon 02, holy cheese and crackers.
Oh, wow.
5379 says, Mrs. DeBear, Mrs. Futon says you need to do a Christmas saving special and decked out all in elf gear.
Oh, I'd pay
and a
money for
head
that.
gear, of course. Thank you. That is a great idea. I actually super love the movie Elf because I'm a dork. But yeah, so I'm not sure. Christmas savings special. You'll have to help me with that. But that sounds awesome. And thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Futano2, for the $53.79. Thank you. And I will try to figure out an elf situation. I have some elf things, but not a full elfness.
Oh, we can make that happen.
To the internets.
Harlem says, is Harbor Freight going to release any more colors of the new roll cart? Really would like to see a white or gray one. I don't know. I really don't. I would love to see other colors as well. They even talked about some cool, like off kind of colors, like an army green kind of stuff and a navy blue kind of thing, like a matte navy blue kind of thing. And it was cool, but haven't heard anything else about it. Dr. Falcon says, hi, Jesse. Fartis Heck says, the first shut up moto of the season. Yes. Remember, we still have a limited number of shut up moto mini stickers in the store.
Yes, we do.
Once they are gone, I'm not ordering any more. James Brown. Thanks for the deal of the week last week. I picked up the XTR half-inch impact and got the 3/8 impact wrench as a free gift. I needed to work on my car, so it came in handy. Awesome. That is a great impact. We Are Fuller says, like that. I don't know. 3Kno says, I like Menards, but they don't have customer reviews on their products. Shady. Okay. Everyone stop for a minute. Stop commenting for a second. We got to take a second. We have to address something. I get what you're saying. I totally hear you about them not having reviews on it. Here's the honest truth. Companies lie. Every company out there edits their reviews. A lot of people are like, well, Harbor Freight doesn't show all the negative reviews. No, Home Depot certainly doesn't. I can tell you, as an Amazon seller, okay, I'm a best-selling author on Amazon. I can tell you for a fact, even if they do post the review, if you add up all the stars on a review and then you look at the what the average is up top, that is not an average, because they weight the reviews based on how good they think you are as a reviewer.
Yep.
So you can have like one person who's just really well-known reviewer who gave it 5 stars, and 3 people who hated it and gave it 1 star, and it's going to get 4.5 stars. It's not an average, and every single company out there edits their reviews. It would be nice, but for me, it would not be a game changer. It's the kind of case where you just have to go out and find information elsewhere, in which case you probably want to do that anyway.
Yep.
All right, moving along.
Gary just said, delivered to somebody that had one of those robo mowers you were just talking about. They loved it, and they're in Bismarck, North Dakota. So thank you.
You almost said it right.
That's where my family's from.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
I can't say it right. She can.
So thank you, Gary. Super appreciate the inside info on that.
Short Circuit Brewer says, did not catch the other channel's name. Bear's Den. You're better off finding the link, because if you just search it, there's a
couple of them, yeah.
And right now we only like 3,000 or 4,000 subs over there. So
if you look in the comments from tonight's video, also Frank put a link directly to the channel.
Thanks, Frank.
So yes.
Jeff says, do you have an affiliate link for that rigid table saw? I'm getting ready to buy it. I do not. I probably should set one up. But thank you for thinking of me. I really appreciate that. Bullwinkle says, should we send all the fire extinguishers to Vince over at VCH Construction, who loves the new Dewalt battery system? Reminds me of the Steve McQueen in the movie The Blob. No. Okay, now, if you didn't see this, I pinned a comment on that video I did about this. So I got to give a shout out where it's due to my buddy Dan, Audubon Dan. He's got he's a great guy. We got a chance to meet him at SEMA eons ago. It was 2 years ago, but it seems like eons ago.
It does.
And hung out.
It was pre-COVID, so it was eons ago.
Different lifetime. And great guy. And he did some digging after seeing my video and found another video that was posted in March by some weird company who claims to have partnered with Dewalt, and they make this, as they call it, I kid you not, black goo. How could that go wrong? That goes in these polymer bags and creates like a safety seal when it gets punctured. And I think I don't know if it feels, I don't know what it does, but basically it makes it so they don't explode. They pierced them with heat probes. They shot them with rifles in the video, and nothing bad happened. Now, these batteries aren't expected to hit the market till early spring of 2022. So that's probably when I'm going to be able to get my paws on them, because I reached out to Dewalt, and Dewalt basically ignored me. They talked to me up to the point where I said, hey, can I get some of these? And, why wasn't I invited to this event? And just silence. Dewalt and Milwaukee both don't care much for me. It's funny. I can get a hold of some of the guys at Craftsman. Porter Cable, I think, has a hit out on me.
We don't eat the things they send us in the mail.
Let's see here. Justin says Sunday nights mean bear and beer. Currently enjoying Oktoberfest. Oh, that sounds like a good time. I really wanted to take the Cubs to Oktoberfest this year, and we just kind of missed out on it. Di says, forget the tools for Black Friday. I want a deal on Baltic birch plywood. Prices are still too high. You and me both. I've got some plans. I would like to do some projects I wanted to build and get some good Baltic birch, and even that construction grade plywood coming back down. That kind of stuff, not so much. Mm-hmm. Brandon says, I watch you every day. I just ordered a DIY Aluma wood patio cover. Thoughts on how I should cut the aluminum? Well, that's the thing with aluminum. Aluminum you can cut with any kind of power tool made for wood. Just beware of all the little sharp pieces that it's going to produce.
Eye protection.
But yeah, you can cut with a circ saw, with a recip saw, anything you can cut a good hardwood with will cut aluminum. I've cut aluminum sheets of aluminum on my table saw and on my bandsaw. It creates a hot mess if you want to get it out of all the little crannies and stuff, but it'll do it.
And thank you again, Brandon, for the super chat. You were awesome.
Yeah, and to be clear, you don't need a special metal cutting saw for that. Just your good hardwood saw or blade would do that. Okay, Craig says, are there any of the 18-volt inflators worthwhile? Looking at a Makita as a free 12, worthwhile. Depends on worthwhile. Will they do the job? Yes. Are they going to do it fast? No. But they'll get there. Even the cheap, the Bauer one I've got, it inflated a half-ton, pickup truck tire. It took a while, but it did it. Greg Crocker says, hello all. Steve says, any thoughts on the Ryobi Airstrike finish nailers? I've not used those, but I've heard from a lot of people who use them, and they're kind of the go-to for DIYers, and people love those things. Sean says, one more question. Any idea if Harbor Freight will be replacing the Bauer trim router with a new model at any point? I think they will. I was a little stunned that it came. Well, I wasn't stunned. They sent me one. I never did a video on it. I meant to, but I was not impressed with it. I did comment about that several times in other videos. John says, what do you think of the new Skill tabletop router table? I was actually thinking about getting it. It looks pretty cool. I like the little storage on the side because I don't have an area to dedicate right now to a router table, and I definitely thought that would be a nice little benchtop option.
Okay, so I don't have pom-poms, but this is a $5 super chat from Princess Jamie.
Hey!
Says, wow, it's been a while. How are you all? I can finally tune in. Awesome. It has been a while. We haven't done live streams in a while, but we are super glad to be back and super glad to see you here this evening. And thank you so much for the super chat. Yay!
That's awesome. Good to see you. I don't know if you've been seeing. I've been liking and watching all your posts on Instagram. Watching you take care of my Jeep.
Yes, he's watching very intently.
Where do we go? Sorry, I lost my place here.
Is that helping?
That helps a lot, actually. Allows me to focus. Mm-hmm. Josh says, I really just need to know about Milwaukee deals for Black Friday. There's some good deals now that I don't know if I should wait or not. If you're looking at 12-volt tools, I would buy now. I don't think we're going to see anything better. They've been blowing out a lot of great deals on the 12-volt stuff. There's been some good combos on the higher-end stuff, and I think that's more of what we're going to see. We're going to see the really high-end stuff getting some decent sales. As far as like the base level, like the brushed, which is not a bad set, but I don't think we're going to see any just like, blow your hair back kind of deals on that. And I think that they're honestly going to wait till closer to Black Friday for the big deals on that. But I don't think they're waiting until the last week. I think we're going to start seeing it the week before, maybe in the week before that. But we're not going to see them next week or the week after that. There are a few deals here and there, but the large amount of those deals, I think they're going to push back closer towards the end.
Princess Jamie says she just bought a new Jeep yesterday. Is
For
that
me?
like in addition to our other Jeep?
There's no way she got rid of that Jeep.
Anyways, so
too much
just
work
thought
on
I'd
that
let
thing.
you know.
Greg says, we just went to Walmart and most of the checkouts were self-checkout. Mine
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
That was something special.
A cluster of sorts.
Well, and the McDonald's here, the local McDonald's, which is paying, I think it might be more. When I checked, it was $17.
I think it's either 20 or 21.
Yeah, it's been going up. It's absolutely ridiculous. We got people here, paramedics, going, I'm going to quit my job and go work at McDonald's. There'll be less stress and I'll make more money. But that said, they've closed down the inside because they're ripping out the entire front of the store and putting in kiosks. So everyone who's looking for those high-paying jobs, working retail and stuff, like cashiers and stuff, they're getting automated. So be prepared to see a downtrend once everyone gets up to speed on that automation. Mark says, offload all the ships to LA, to Mexico, and let the Haitians bring the stuff. That's terrible. Funny, but terrible. Steven says, Saw a now hiring sign at Steak and Shake. Oh, I forgot about Steak and Shake. Advertising $15 an hour. They better get orders right with that pay. Man, I love me some Steak and Shake. Frank says, do you have the Anvil 10.5 or the 6.5? I got the 10.5. I got the 10.5, the T500 copper, and the recirculating kit, and a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff. Steven says, that's more than I make. It's unfortunate because I've worked all throughout the pandemic. I know. I totally get it. Speaking of which, I want to send me an email. I want to talk to you. I got an idea about something job-wise that I want to talk to you later. 3Kano says, does it escort intruders right out of the house? Allows them to take the room temperature challenge. Inferno Craftsman says, Black Friday deals at the depot, etc. never impressed me much. There was always a few items, but much of it was regular price, or like now where the prices are better during the summer and the fall. There was always a few doorbuster kind of stuff, and that's always been the big deal, is they want to get you in for the big doorbuster and then hope you'll fill up your cart with a bunch of other stuff. We Are Fuller says, hi, Mrs. 5 is an odd number. LOL. Nice.
Yes.
Amelie says, yeah, for Harbor Freight, broke out the coupons for this weekend. It was a big deal. Yeah, it was a big sale for them. We saw welders, we saw storage carts, we saw a lot of stuff that we don't normally see on sale. Steven says, how do you think about RoboMers would do with a bunch of walnuts that fallen from a tree? Probably not so well, to be honest, unless you like flying walnuts. Shaka says, hearing horror stories about the Icon Box wait times, upwards of 4 months not delivered. Gotta love the port backups.
Oh.
Well, there's two issues there. A, it's getting the stuff here, and B, it is they rely on they have segmented deliveries. So you have once it gets to port, then there's somebody who gets it to local, then there's somebody who's, I should say area, then there's somebody who gets it from the area to local, and then they need a last mile deliverer. And I dealt with this myself, and I've talked to a lot of other people. There's just those guys. They price out jobs. They put it in an open bid. Somebody picks it up, and half the time they don't know what their job is.
Yeah, I would say the communication is not where it should be.
Yeah, and I don't know anybody doing much better job than that, but yeah, I've heard stories of it sitting in the same town for 2 months.
Yep.
Because the company couldn't get somebody to pay as low as they wanted to deliver it, so they just let it sit. Going, what are you going to do? Brandon says, I just ordered okay, we covered that one. Michael, hey Michael, how you doing, my man? He says, hey kids, tuned in late. Greetings from Virginia Beach. Not a whole lot is new here. Like the new shop. How's the pup doing? Is he doing or she doing good? Gary says, delivered to somebody that had one of the, we talked about that. Santiago says, do you have a preference for a certain jigsaw blade for wood? I don't. I usually only use jigsaws for rough cutting, getting close to the line. And then anytime I do something, then you're going to sand to the line. So I'm not really all that worried about it. I just buy, a decent brand that's not Lennox, I guess, is one I kind of default to. Delaney says, what's the best bet for portable bandsaw? Any deals coming up in your predictions? Well, depends. Are you looking for something along the lines of like the Bauer that plugs in? Or are you looking for one of the cordless ones like the Ryobi? Or are you looking for like one of the industry-specific ones like the little mini ones like we're seeing now from Dewalt? Dewalt's got the new 12-volt coming out. They've got the Atomic coming out. Or all sorts of cool stuff coming out from Dewalt. Of course, there's the stuff from Milwaukee as well. Makita's had something for some time. As far as the big deals on that, it's one of those ones that I don't think we'll see a huge deal on them, to be honest. I don't think you'll see a doorbuster kind of deal on a portable bandsaw. Yeah. Looking at me.
Steven with a $5 super chat. Here's to golfing walnuts with a robo mower.
Dodgy
Thank
walnuts.
you so much.
Kent says, so that's why Menards doesn't have reviews on their website. Michael says, as for Amazon reviews, it's become apparent that on some electronic things, more than a few of them have no clue. Sad state of affairs. Yeah, it is. And on top of it, I cannot tell you. Maybe I got to do a video on it. I got to start saving these things. It's mostly through Instagram, my Instagram account. Now, we have just over 1,000 followers on Instagram, which apparently is the threshold for having every single reseller in the world contact me to...
It's because they love you so much.
Oh my gosh. Contact me to ask me to review a tool or not. And it's not usually a tool, to be honest. They go, hey, we'd like to, I'm so-and-so, a seller. I would like to send you this for review. So naturally I'm thinking they want me to do a video, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, okay, fine. And what I do is honestly, I've gotten to the point where I just put out an outrageous price. Because if I say, no, thank you, they do a hard sell on you. Like, well, we're going to say, why won't you do this? What's wrong with it? You know, just try it one time. We're going to build up a great relationship. We'll send you hundreds of things. If I come like, I want $1,500. They're like, and I did this recently. I said, oh, $1,500. And they're like, the person literally said, I have to catch my breath. That is the highest price I've ever been quoted. And I said, well, you are asking me, a tool channel on YouTube with 175,000 subscribers to review your badminton set.
That was a hard pass?
Hard pass. He came back. He tried to talk me down. I'm like, no, I'm not going to work with you. It was you didn't get the hint. Go away. But the reality is, and I guess I need to get back to this. The reality is, most of these people actually don't want me to do a video. They want me to do. Well, they do want me to do a video. They want me to do a review and a video and post it to Amazon, as if I was the actual buyer. And what they do is they go, you order the item, we'll reimburse you, and then you post the link to Amazon, or post it on Amazon. And I'm like, no, that's, first of all, it's against Amazon's terms of service. And second of all, that's scammy. And look what happened to Tack Life. It's against the rules, and they're all doing it. All of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bullwinkle says, when you moved to Montana, you forgot the Raiders. We're still going to go back to Vegas from time to time. In fact, we found friends up here. I got to call him, who have season tickets to the Raiders.
Oh, yes.
And he said, well, they're only going to go to a couple games, so I'm going to buy some tickets off of him. Derek says, hey, Montanans, do you still like the Bauer 10-inch dual bevel sliding miter saw
for a have so much hair on the shirt?
For a DOA project? Okay, full disclosure. I don't have it in my shop right now. I gave it away to a good friend of mine who is a professional contractor. Now, granted, he does mostly rough-in plumbing kind of stuff and jobs like that. He also does flooring sometimes. We got friends who run a flooring company, so sometimes he chips in when he's got slow on the plumbing side and does that kind of stuff. Because I just don't have room in the shop or at home I have way too many miter saws. And I think at this time I have 4, maybe 5. Okay. And so I gave it to him, and every time I see him, he's like, dude, I got to tell you, that Bauer saw is really awesome. I offered him one of these saws I have here, like, hey, it'd be an upgrade. He's like, no, this saw's great. I love it. Mm-hmm. He uses it all the time. So take that for what it's worth.
Spade Ace said, hey, Bear, just wanted to say hi to you and your awesome wife. Hope your family is well. Can't stay, but just wanted to show the love. Post this later.
Who's that?
It's Spade Ace.
Oh.
It says, I want to watch when I get home. Totally understand. And the only reason I read it is because it wasn't at the Den of Tools and you wouldn't have seen it later. So super glad you stopped by. Have a great night. Be safe and watch when you can.
Michael says Black Friday when the stockbrokers do the swan dive off the 14th floor. No, I think that's Monday, Black Monday. Let's see here.
Monday?
No, Black.
Oh, yes. Okay.
She doesn't know what we're talking about.
I do.
Yes. I know she does. I'm just pulling her
I
tail.
will be.
I'll get stabbed later.
Yep.
Barbecue 76 says, hello. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm looking for the tool to use.
What? No. No stabbing me. Josh says, ICU nurse in Dallas here looking to get into carpentry or contracting. Yeah, I can imagine. Good time to get into it. Carpentry, I don't know what carpentry's like these days. I'm really kind of removed from that business. I can tell you, our friends who do flooring, man, there's more work than they can handle. There's people are always looking to upgrade floors. I can tell you that. That's a great job to get into. Only problem is it can be kind of hard on your knees. My buddy's been doing it for 17 years. He has no knees left. They're just rubber. Brian says, what do you think of the 12-volt 3-inch grinder? I don't know. I haven't used it, but I'm trying to think which brand you're talking about. Z Torrent says, what gauge finish nailer do you recommend as a beginning do-it-all tool? 15, 16, or 18? For finish nailer, I don't know. I don't use a lot of finish nailers because usually I just use pin nailers and glue. Glue is my go-to kind of stuff because for the stuff I'm doing, as far as okay, this is gonna sound bad. As far as like doing like work like on the house and building stuff, I still use a hammer, and I should use an actual nailer, but I use a hammer. I did get to play around with the what was it? The Milwaukee one. I don't remember what gauge it was, but I would say 16 gauge is probably the most like, I don't know.
Are you done?
I was moving on to the next one.
Well, this one's pertinent and they didn't do at the Den of Tools.
Okay.
Court says, considering how bad Amazon is right now, wouldn't it be better off to shop on eBay? I use them and Jegs for car parts. Carl D is decent too. I think the issue comes down to warranty, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so. I mean, my biggest issue with Amazon is delivery times. So, you know, and unless he's talking about the reviews on stuff, I have no idea how well the review system on eBay works or doesn't work for that matter. So,
and I only read
the reviews for the seller are fine, but that doesn't really tell you how good the product is.
Mm-hmm. And I only read that because, again, didn't do it at the Den of Tools, but I happened to catch it.
Barbecue 76 says, WTF phone, why do you do this to me? Anyway, yes, I'm here, and it's time to derail the show. We're going to talk about barbecuing and cooking here shortly, people. Princess Jamie says, CJ for life. It's an addiction. The CJ is nearing its end of build. That's a lie. That is a flat out lie. There's never
like a house.
There's no such thing as end of build for a CJ. The Jeep is a plush trail Jeep with AC. Ooh.
I know. Also, AC. You had me at AC.
In a new shop finally. Good for you. That is awesome. Hey, Brian Murphy says, what do you think of the Milwaukee 3-inch grinder? Have not used it. Honestly, if I'm going to get a grinder, it's, you know, I usually get basic corded ones. Either get cheap ones or I'm going to buy like a Bosch or something like that. Dewalt has honestly good grinders. I don't often think of Milwaukee when I think grinders. But if you do, that's fine. Gary says, oh, I missed the steak and shake and them skinny little fries. Skinny little fries, some chili spaghetti, and a chocolate shake. Oh, yeah. Health food there. Michael Chesney says, the new used dog is doing as well as can be expected, adopted well to the new situation. For Molly Beagle, any open car door is an invitation for a road trip.
Yes. Miss Bella tried to go with me on a road trip today. I was putting recycling in my Suburban, and she tried to get in. I'm like, no, we're not going anywhere. I'm just putting recycling
It
here.
used to be if we grabbed the keys, she would try to get in the car. And then it got to the point if we said the word like we're going or truck or something, then she was all excited.
Or trip.
Now all we have to do is look towards the door. She's like, what? Are we going? Because I'm going to get between you and the door, so you have to take me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She's a good girl.
The last trip, you know, when you guys took off, I took her everywhere when I went somewhere. So she's like, Montana rules, snitches. I'm going. We're in Montana. I get to be truck dog.
Well, and to be fair, everybody here, like all of the businesses that have drive-thrus, even the bank has dog treats.
Yeah, every place.
She went through the bank drive-thru with me one day, and they're like, and this is for the dog. And I was like, oh, not for me.
And but it's been rainy and muddy, and I got the new truck, and her dirty little paws are not getting in the truck. No. And I'm sorry, I won't ride with her in the back of the truck.
No,
that's just not something I do. Will she be fine? Probably. Have
you met her? She's a spaz now.
Total spaz. Carson says, do you think we will get the subcompact reciprocating saw or brushless 6.5-inch circ saw from Makita for a free tool choice? I think there's a good chance on both of those. The one-handed recip stuff recently has been huge. And I'm seeing that in almost every free tool deal as well as circ saws. So I think, and the 6.5 is now the go-to standard for cordless circ saws. So I think we're going to see that. A Texas. I'm in the market for a new table saw. Curious what you choose, the rigid versus the Delta. I would seriously consider the Delta, but the motor issue has me somewhat concerned. So the motor issue was a bigger issue when it first came out. They've addressed it mostly. They're covered by warranties if you do have an issue. And there's also somebody out there selling a fix-it kit for it that really upgrades it, makes it, rock solid. That said, they're essentially the same saw. So it doesn't really matter which one you buy. And the fact of the matter is, you're not going to get a better saw than that for under $1,000. Not new.
My phone's dying.
Aw.
Do you have power cord?
I have all sorts of power cords. None that are going to reach over there.
Okay.
How much time you got left on it?
3%.
Oh.
Use your phone?
Why don't you use my phone?
Again, super professional.
So professional. There you go.
Thank you.
All right. Where was I? Ryan. What?
Don't forget to like. I forgot to like. Don't forget to like.
Okay. Turn your phone off.
You're not the boss of me. I don't know who is.
Ryan says there's a video, I forgot from whom, but they got photos of Home Depot's Black Friday deals. I think I know the photos you're talking about, and I don't think those are Black Friday deals. I think they are, if they're pictures of items in store, those I think are some of those sales I was talking about, them ramping up to Black Friday, but I don't think they're Black Friday deals specifically. Let's see here. G-Man says, can you do new Makita reviews? Only so many hours in the day. I love Makita. And I will get around to it at some point. Carson says, do you think we will get the subcompany? Oh, we just talked about that. The Mugrat says, they're live. Live and in person. Live. All right, where'd I go? Ben says, do you have any recommendations for an entry-level sandblaster? By the way, I'm a new subscriber and fan and love your content. I would say, yeah, the Harbor Freight one. It's not perfect, especially if you're looking for the cabinet itself. There are some tutorials online on how to seal it up better because it's got some leaks. But for the money, you're not going to come close to a sandblaster for that. In fact, I use the base one. It's the one with the little silver thing underneath it. Ran holes through. I did some really cool stuff on some handheld paper puncher kind of stuff with that. I've done it. Just go out in the backyard and put a mask on and hold it away from you. High Horse says, just ordered our new windows and doors from Lowe's this past Friday. They won't be installed until January or February. I hate waiting. Hopefully sooner. Hopefully, early January so you can get them for the most of the season and get those benefits. Princess Jamie says, any plans on the Morning Bears Den show? I don't see us having time, really, especially going into the high season here now through Christmas with all the deals and everything else going on. I am going to start doing more stuff on the Bears Den, but I just put a video out. It's going to be some YouTube kind of tech. It's going to be a lot more guy-oriented kind of stuff. I was thinking about doing like a Friday night cigars and whiskey kind of videos.
Princess Jamie likes drinks. It's not just guys.
No, it's not just guys.
That's
right. And yes, she's a fine wild turkey aficionado like myself.
Connoisseur.
Yes.
Of the highest degree.
But that said, I'm going to do something more with the channel, but I just don't have the time for the morning show every day.
I hear ya.
Bullwinkle says, wow, USA made 6-inch Vice, orange Vice. Check them out. Speaking of which, did anybody see the post I put up? Bully Tools. Yes. Harbor Freight now has a Bully Tools snow shovel. Now, we have some outdoor Bully Tool stuff, and I got to say, I was pretty impressed with it. They really got used hard when we had to replace our sewer line. And they're, as far as I understand, all their tools are 100% American made. So that's Harbor Freight carrying American made tools.
I have to say, when I saw that, I was like, there's a bully at Harbor Freight? What's going on? I had to read it twice before I understood what I was. Yeah.
Tammy says, I don't not get a notification.
I think you mean that you didn't get a notification.
Check the bell icon on the channel. Sometimes it's set to like personalized. It's set to always, or YouTube will mess with you.
And they also unsubscribe folks.
Yep.
I have been hearing a lot of other people through other people's channels on YouTube that they are having that issue again. So I don't know if it's like they roll through
They do cycles
X number of whatever.
4 or 6 times a year.
So please check to make sure that you are still subscribed. And sorry about that. Neil F. with a $5 super chat said, tried the Icon Snap ring pliers, broke within one job. Not sure to go Knipex or just spend the money on Snap-on.
I don't know. I've heard that they're not the snap ring pliers are not the best set.
Sorry.
And that's kind of sad to say. They're also one of the first things they brought out. So I'm not terribly surprised that they're not the best level. Like, they've worked really hard to get the rest of the stuff up there. I'm guessing that eventually they'll get around to replacing those. I like Knipex stuff, but to be honest, not everything they do is fantastic. I've seen some Knipex stuff that is just like meh. I don't know if I would go all in and get Snap-on. There's got to be something in there in between. If somebody else has got something that they like, that they think works for them, put it down in the comments. I'll be honest, I've got the Quinn set that's got the little replaceable nibs. You change them out for how often I need them, and they work fine for me. Where was I? Southwest says, happy Sunday, just getting in. How you doing? Southwest, sorry. Jason says, is a CNC in your future with the new shop and all? I don't know. And if you guys don't know, I was one of the first guys to get the Inventables, what do you call it? The X-Bot or whatever. And we had that, sold it when we moved. I've been thinking about getting one. If I do, it's probably going to be a smaller one. I do have some space up on the loft areas where going to be my 3D printing and that kind of stuff. Space is going to be up there, and I could probably put a CNC machine up there.
I just looked. You don't have any space. That's my space.
Let me fight her over it. She stole my what do you call it? Let me show.
Is it really called?
Did you move the camera? It's on the end of that box over there.
Where do you want me to move it?
It's supposed to be shown in the fireplace.
Oh. There we go.
Quit messing with my camera, lady.
Okay.
Anyway, up behind there, that's the loft area.
We're married. It's not called theft. It's called sharing. It's called love. It's called giving spirit.
I'm going to share a taser with your backside.
You already did. Thank you very much. Not doing it again.
It wasn't a taser. It was a little electric lighter kind of thing. They were good little
Potato zapped me in the behind.
She's never let me forget it.
Nope.
Frank says, I have a corded Metabo grinder. Happy with it. Metabo makes great grinders too, I have to admit. Michael says, I noticed that the Bauer sanding discs and Sawzall blades are packaged suspiciously like Diablo. Any inside info if they are? I don't have any information that saying that is what they are. But Harbor Freight, we know, likes to copy the designs of other well-known companies. So I wouldn't go as far as to say that that's definitely what it is. Although there was a rumor a while back that the grinding discs were just repackaged Dewalts. So who knows?
Hey, Halen Wolf.
Hey, yeah, we said hi to him earlier. Submarine Vet says, my son is restoring a 69 Jeep that his grandfather left him. Ooh.
Wow.
Man, I keep telling I need an around town vehicle rather than driving my big diesel. It's not great for diesels to do short drives with them, and every drive around my town is a short drive. So I want an around town vehicle, and I was thinking about getting a quad or a side by side because we can drive those on the street around here.
Roller skates?
You saw how the bike worked out for me. Oh, Elle's new e-bike. I bid it on the e-bike. I went to do a turnaround and went up a fairly steep hill and thought, well, I'm worried if I crest the hill, I might come over on it. So I stopped and it started to roll back and I caught my foot on the pedal and went over backwards. Gave myself a good bruise on the hip.
You're
That's
very
about
colorful.
it. Yes. Stay away from the Fiat Jeeps. We had a Fiat Jeep. I don't know if you've been around the channel. She drove one for 2 or 3 years. We had the Renegade Trailhawk. I will say they are a little twitchy, but that said, we sold it for more than we paid for it.
Yep.
Gotta love this economy. The Weir Fuller says the reason there's so much call for flooring is if you want to rehab it to rent, nobody wants to replace carpet after each tenant or pay for it if you're a tenant. I hate carpeting. We had a house in California where literally half the house was travertine tile. Loved it. The other half was floor-to-floor carpet. And this was your first house with floor-to-floor carpet, wasn't it? And she was thrilled. How long did that last, that thrilling feeling? About 6 months.
It wears.
She never wants a house with floor-to-floor ever again. Hardwood or tile, way to go. Area rugs.
You can put, that's the thing. You can put a rug on hardwood floor or tile. You cannot put tile and hardwood on a rug.
Well, you can, but it looks awkward.
It's odd.
And it does. And when people walk in with how good laminate flooring looks these days, and how, I'll be honest, the first house we rented in Vegas, they just put in hardwood, laminate hardwood flooring, and we were worried because our dog loves to run around at top speed. She's a 90-pound Labrador. On top of that, she loves slick floor. She does this kind of skitter thing, like she's like like a muscle car spinning the stairs. She does it on purpose. She loves that feeling of going as fast as she can.
It's like drifting.
Yeah,
it's like dog drifting.
The dog will literally drift around corners. And she went nuts. I'm like, we're going to have to buy new flooring. And when we moved out, not a scratch on it. And we were there for 1.5 years. It was just, I gotta say, I don't think I'd put in real flooring after that. The laminate is just too good.
Yeah. Brandon Wilson with the $9.99 super chat. Thanks for the tips. Here's mine. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ball Zach says, nice there, Ball.
Yep.
I am an automotive
Classy.
technician. I help people on your Facebook. I was contacted by a scam company on Facebook to accept free tools to review on Amazon. Is this common for people on Facebook? If you post a lot, you post a lot of pictures, stuff like that, yes, you will get them. In fact, anybody who posts pictures of tool use on Instagram will often get offered tools. A lot of times, especially if you post a lot of a specific brand, you'll get contacted by that brand going, hey, can we just send you a tool to check out, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the whole posting on Amazon is, it's unethical, B, it's against terms of service, and you can get your account revoked. TacLife, which would quickly become the largest, let's call it independent, not one of the big name tool companies on Amazon, they'd gotten huge. They literally had thousands of items. I remember when they were a know nothing company when they first contacted me with that recip saw, and they got banned for life, as far as I understand. Amazon's not usually good about letting people back on once they kick you off.
Yeah. Brandon Wilson with the $19.99 super chat. My first time here. I watch you all the time. Keep up the hard work. Thank you
party?
so much.
Like it's $19.99. Yeah, don't drop my phone, lady.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Even as my wife tries to
klutzy.
phone murder my moto.
I'm trying to help you get a new phone, honey.
Yeah. Frank says, miss the Bears Den morning show, although I work now and would miss it altogether. Fred says, hello, I still need to count the 6.5 broomstick nails. Good luck, because they're selling at $3 a pop right now.
Might need to take out a loan.
So Duncan, we already bought the tickets. He is coming up, I think it's the second week of November. So there's going to be like 4 days where we're going hardcore elk, okay? We're going to do a bunch of deer, the little bear, Griffin and I, we're going to be doing some deer hunting. I want to get a whitetail and we're going to get a mule deer. We got to stock the fridge. But this is Duncan's first hunting season. And we're flying him up because he's in school now. He's actually going to a high school in Vegas and he's taking an automotive tech class that he absolutely loves. So we're supporting him with that, but we're flying him over for 4 days. But if you guys remember last year for an early Christmas, he got a 6.5 ratchet, let's call it that. Mm-hmm. And the thing is an absolute laser. It's ridiculous. But I told him, now I'm in more of the 308 millimeter ratchets, if you would, calibers actually. I'm an old dude now. I was talking to Brad from Brad's his wood turning channel now is his big thing. He's like, you should get a lathe. You should get a lathe. I'm getting wheel guns. I just got into lever action. If I get a lathe, I already have the metal lathe. If I get a wood lathe, I'm going to be officially the old man then. All right. No apologies to everyone out there, but let's be honest. That's what happens as you get older. You got to get into wood turning. You got to get in the lever actions and the wheel stuff. And
this just in from our daughter. You are the old man.
Did she really say that?
She's.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, she did really say that, just not right now.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is that the thing he got was in 6.5, and I told him, don't do it because they're going to be hard to get and they're going to be expensive. Oh no, I totally want to. Yeah.
Well, why? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not like he's going to be paying for it.
That was my thought process.
Quirk. Can you do a price comparison on all power tool accessories like you have before for power tools? Plus, give us use cases for it and who would use it. Oh, that would be daunting, but yet it's a great idea, and I should do it. In fact, I did 2 years ago. I did a really in-depth. It's an hour-long video on breaking down every single drill driver with battery and charger, and talking about the cost associated with each one of those. And people really enjoyed it. It took a while for that video to take off, but there's been 100, 200,000 views on it at this point, and people really like it. So maybe I should go back and do more of those. Is it worth waiting for Black Friday to buy a Christmas tree at Lowe's? No. Mm-mm. Get your Christmas tree now. Have you been to the hardware stores? There's no Halloween stuff. And Halloween was the second biggest decorating thing. What happened?
Here's the thing. When we went to Lowe's this weekend, I got our Halloween stuff
was on
clearance. And I'm like, it hasn't happened yet.
And there was one small little kiosk with it.
Yep.
Everything, the whole corner of the store, Christmas.
Yep.
Now, let's be clear. This is the woman who would decorate for Christmas all year round.
So I've been meaning to talk to you about our house.
We're not that far north. You can't do the whole North Pole theme all year round.
Well, it might be North Pole when you walk in to our house.
Did you leave the door open? Did it snow inside?
No. Not yet.
We just got finished with first winter, as we call it here in Montana. Mm-hmm. First winter is usually 1 to 2 weeks. And then it warms back up. We get sometimes an Indian summer, sometimes just a continuation of fall. And that usually lasts till around Thanksgiving-ish, maybe even until 1st of January. And that's where hard winter sets in.
Second winter.
Excuse me.
There's also third winter sometimes.
Mitchell says, is it better to buy Milwaukee pack out now or later for a better deal? I was going to get it then maybe and ask for a price adjustment later. Good luck with that. Because think about this. If you want a price adjustment, you're going to have to go back into a store that's full of Black Friday shoppers, and that customer service line is going to be out the door because they're only going to have one person working with it because they don't have enough people to staff everything anyway. Good luck with that. That said, if they have what you have now, what you want, if they have what you want, like you're looking for a stack, the basic tower stack, or if you're looking for the individual ones, if it goes on sale, as soon as it goes on sale, I would buy it and count your blessings. Yeah. You're going to get it while it's still in stock. There's no guarantee it's going to be in stock come Black Friday.
Yeah. And I mean, I am not as up on tools as you are, obviously, but I kind of feel like that's kind of
everywhere right now.
Everywhere. Even the grocery stores. I will be honest, when I go, I get a little bit of extra toilet paper or a little bit of extra basic things that are shelf stable.
What was the latest thing that people are selling out on? They're saying it's the new toilet paper.
There was something. But it was like, weird random stuff.
Yeah.
We had a friend who needed a printer recently, and I
Oh my
went
gosh.
to Walmart, and legit, the entire aisle of printers was gone.
She made me go with her. She's like, you have to help me pick the right printer. I got to the aisle first. So I'm like, no, I don't.
And I was like, what do you mean, no, you don't? He's like, nope. I'm like, what does nope mean? Like, which
No
one?
printers.
He's like,
Not
no printers. Nada.
one.
Nunca. Yet.
Both sides of the aisle, cleared.
Yeah, totally gone. So, that being said, if you find something, you should get it.
Put a ring on it. Fred says, I need a gritter. Is the cordless Bauer a good one? Also, impact wrench, would Bauer cordless be good? I'm guessing he means grinder. Depends on what you're doing. For basic home stuff, do I have the grinder? I have the impact wrench, and the impact wrench is decent. It's not going to take. I mean, I've tried it. It took lug nuts off of my 3500 Ram. So I mean, that thing is a big, full size, 1-ton mega cab. Sorry, I have to say it right. Mega cab. There's a requirement there. Diesel. So it's and it worked for that. I think it can work for most of the stuff you're going to do. Yes.
Halen Wolf with the $5 super chat. Hey, Halen. Problem. Fresh cut Christmas trees are supposed to be up 300%. Numerous lots are not opening this year. Last year, $40 tree. This year, rumored $140. So perhaps getting that fake tree at Target.
Ooh, I should put a tree in here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
We might already have a
You
tree.
already plans?
Wait, I have plans.
I meant like a real tree. We only do a fake tree at home because it's 140 at this point, 30, 40-year-old house. And
I thought you were talking about the temperature. I'm like, he has lost his mind. He hit his head.
And where you have to get it in is not big enough.
Santa's going to need to come to the shop because there isn't room at our house.
Yeah.
So the tree might be here.
Apparently we're doing Christmas here. That would actually be kind of fun. Is there going to be a party or other people invited? Oh.
Stay tuned.
Joy. I'll put all the sharp objects away.
See, this is the real live stream. This is like he gets to learn along with you.
I'm also planning to do some mead. So we'll have some honey mead to go with it. We'll do some spiced rum kind of stuff. We'll have all sorts of fun. Princess Jamie says, I haven't touched a drop of alcohol since June 16th. That is a new change in my life. Good for you.
Awesome.
That is awesome. She's so healthy.
You're awesome.
Wayne says, Den Tools, I have a Cobalt Power Tools. What do you think of the Black Friday deals would be this year? I think it's going to be straight up BOGO kind of deals. Buy any of these buy this tool, get any one of these for free. And we've already seen that from them. I don't think there's going to, we just had the XTR deal. That was a huge deal. I don't think they're going to do that again come Black Friday. That's what I'm saying. When you see that deal come up, anytime between now and Black Friday, when you see it come up, snatch it. Because there's no telling with stock issues, with the supply chain as messed up as it is. And if you haven't seen my videos talking about the supply chain and showing the real-time cargo ship fiascos, they've gotten worse. Much, much worse. We got viewers in the LA area at some of the other ports, and they've contacted me to be like, dude, I remember you talking about this 6 months ago. It was bad then. It's twice as bad now. Mm-hmm. So,
Owen's Jeep Stuff with the $10 super chat. Hey, it says can't stay. I have to work early. Just wanted to say hello. Hello. We totally understand. Hopefully you can check it out later.
All our Jeep friends are showing up tonight.
But yeah, super awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and thank you again for the super chat. We super appreciate it, and we understand. Go get rest and work tomorrow.
Michael says it's a good idea. Going to get a drink. Be right back. David says, after waiting all summer, Harbor Freight, East Peoria, Illinois, got me a GoldenEye car.
Yes.
I have one. It's silly. It's cheesy. It makes no sense. But
it does make you happy
fun.
inside.
It gives me a little warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Mm-hmm. Fred says, it's a Black Sunday. I cut my beard today. Ooh, wife told me I look like a wino with the beard.
You know what you do? You just look her dead in the eye and go, married it.
Yeah.
And then you just keep walking.
One time, so I went to shave and I use electric beard trimmer and I forgot to put the gauge on, the depth gauge thing. And I went and just put a huge channel right through the side of my beard. And I'm like, well, it's all coming off now. So I took the whole thing off. This was years ago, honestly, like 10 years ago. I walked out of the bathroom. She screamed, fainted, dead out.
Children didn't know who the guy was. They were like, there's a street.
We had Duncan back then. That was it.
10 years ago, we had children.
Okay, Eleanor, she was in. Anyway.
Griffin was alive, too.
Oh, gosh, he was.
We're getting old, dear.
It was longer
We're getting
than 10 years
old.
ago because it was in San Francisco in the high rise.
Eleanor was a creature. She was a
always
being.
been a creature. Anyway, the point of the matter is she hated it. I trim my beard short usually during the summer. Eleanor now hates it and screams. She wants me to grow it completely out. She says she's going to braid it.
Yep.
You know what? I'm a good dad. I like to indulge the girls in my life. So I'm going to try it. We're going to see how long this thing gets. I might get rid of some of these wisps up in here. I don't like those.
We'll have to find those ornaments to decorate.
That's not happening
him again.
Nope.
Yep.
I found them. I threw them away.
Oh, it's good. There's this place called Amazon. We can order them. They'll be here like Tuesday.
This here. Arbuckle Workshop says most of the tool truck pliers are Kneepex with Snap-on Matco printed on the handle. I wouldn't be surprised. The new vice grips for Snap-on, they dropped their Spanish supplier, and now it's the Eagle grips from Malco, and they charge double the price for them because they say Snap-on them. Good grief! What highway robbery! Fisher Fritz, Cassie Fritz says, "Is it worth waiting for Black Friday to buy a Christmas tree?" Well, we talked about that. I remember everyone. I will get to them eventually. I don't give little one-off answers, for questions that deserve it. So we get a little behind, but I will get to it. You don't have to repeat it. It just confuses me, and then it makes it take longer because then I have to explain myself. So now it's taking longer. In fact, on top of longer. Halo says, up on the rooftop, click, click, click. Mrs. DeVere has antlers on. Also, my wife saw a video of Jungle Gyms. Now I got to take her.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did you say
totally want to see a picture of her there. Photos or it didn't happen. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, she'll super love it, and I can't wait to hear more. Have fun.
So for those of you who don't know, Jungle Gyms is a store in the Cincinnati area. It's fairly silly and fun and epic, actually. I lived in the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area for 10 years. And so I knew all about it. She went back to a family thing in West Virginia. They had to fly into Cincinnati because apparently West Virginia doesn't have airports. And anyway, so she got her first chance to go. And I was super jealous I didn't get to go.
I'll be super honest. Like the first 4 people that recommend, I'm like, why do you think I'm going to go to a gym with my children? Like that's not happening. I was envisioning like a workout gym. Like what? So then when I looked it up, it was...
Our viewers know you through and through.
Yep.
You should just listen and just accept it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see a bear rug soon. Oh, yeah. I get shorn multiple times a year. Yep. Michael says, 3D printing in a loft, bad idea. Heat, humidity causes printing problems. Plastic, it's not that kind of loft. It's just higher than the spot here. It's not going to be a huge change in heat or anything. I'm going to have to build cases to go around them anyway because the air, this big open place, the airflow is all wonky. Fred says, brother was telling me after one winter, most of the Californians and Montanans will probably leave the state. We can only hope. Some Californian got butthurt when I made a comment the other day. I was talking to people here, and I have to tell them I'm not originally from California. I just lived there for a while. Did time, as it were. And he got super butthurt, kind of got into it with him. Like, dude, anyway, it's not worth going on, rehashing. Imperial Truth says, oh, very nice. For the Emperor. Any recommendations for a strong 3D printing filament? No, I don't do enough of it to really be able to say this is the best filament. Ask Michael. Michael does a ton of 3D printing. He's really good with it. So maybe ask him. I dabble, I get in, I jump in and jump out, kind of even worse than the beer making kind of stuff. Neil says, first Icon tool figured with good reviews, try Icon. For work, I like Snap-on, very little issues, hard to justify Snappy for home, but I'm a fanboy even if a good deal comes up. And Tesla for around town. No, I'm not buying a Tesla.
Somebody else recommended a 2-wheel drive. It's not. We need 4-wheel drive.
We're on a hill, so if I have a 2-wheel drive, I'm stuck for most of the winter.
Yep.
Nissan Leaf, David. You're not funny. Okay, maybe a little bit funny. Tom says, all in for a Friday live cast with drinks and thumbs up. I like that idea. I'm going to shoot for that this Friday. I have to go out. I need to go to Bozeman so I can buy a special bottle of bourbon. There's a good store. I found a craft liquor store in Bozeman. So
Thanks, guys. You just gave him an excuse.
yeah, buddy.
Great.
And it's a tax write-off if I drink it online. Halen says, Mrs. So they said the supply shortages, Christmas stuff has to be bought now. I'm thinking the year might be a country Christmas with homemade gifts. Sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yep. I love it.
Seth Wee says, a little round town vehicle. What about a little 2-wheel drive S10? Well, first of all, me and an S10, I would wear that thing. Secondly, unless I've got 800 pounds in the back, just spinning in circles, going around in circles.
Spin me. Yeah.
Wrecking my truck right into the wall.
Yep.
We're going to have a single come out on that shortly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can buy it on iTunes.
Fred says, on the Jeep, what causes the death wobble? My understanding is changing the distance and the linkage, the drive linkage, when you lift them and stuff. But and putting wire tires and all sorts. There's a lot of people who tell you what the death wobble is. I don't think anybody actually knows exactly where the death wobble comes from. It comes from a land far, far away, dark, anti-Jeep people causing it. I was going somewhere with it. I wasn't sure.
Gonna remind you. It's taking you along for the journey. We're all going. Just a time check.
Time check.
That is
7:46. Okay. Excuse me.
Cough drop?
No, I'm going to finish. I got to do a quick run through here. Honda and Toyota make the best hatchbacks and often hold their value better than any other. Inventory since the kids like living in the depression and driving around for work. Yes, they do make great things. Halon says, rug on a laminate floor equals risky business.
Yep.
Well, that's where you get those little anti-slide things for it. Michael says, fortunately, dogs don't have steel-tipped claws. Not yet.
That's true.
Getting congested here.
Silent Dawn with a $10 super chat. What the heck do I type here? Long time no see. Meow.
Oh, hey.
Hey, thank you so much. And yes, I think that you made a comment earlier that he hasn't gotten to, but it is awesome to see you. I think I'm going to get him a cough drop, even though he says no. He's going, you're not the boss of me.
Sorry, anytime my sinuses are like a human barometer. As soon as it gets cold, they start draining. Cheap reviews. Hey, how's it going? All the old crews showing up here.
know.
How's it going? Fred Hill says, we got the Laredo 1000 Pit Boss Smoker. Love it. I wish it smoked heavier. There's ways. Get on the Reddit groups and stuff like that. There are ways to make it smoke heavier. You can get some additional things. A lot of people take chunks of wood, and put it on the plate to create additional smoke as well. Michael says, have a bunch of 308 Brett long stuff. They work rather well. One from 1917 and another from 1942. Walking tour of Europe kind of gear. Yes, we had one of those as well.
Halen Wolf with a $5 super chat. Jeff, get a Bronco.
I'm not buying something new. This is going to be something used, something super cheap.
He didn't say a new Bronco.
Yeah, but any Bronco is expensive. I'm like, I'll get a Bronco 2. I had a Bronco 2 way back in the day. I actually kind of liked it. Fun little truck. I'm like, I'll get one of those. That'd be perfect. Because I actually have a roll-up door. I'm like, I can actually pull that thing right in here. Have plenty of space still, blah, blah, blah. They want $10,000 for Bronco 2s these days. I'm like, they're junk.
So we're going to think about that one.
Yeah. Anyway, do I do any archery hunting? No, I do not do any archery hunting. I played around with archery. I did once, 30 years ago, I went archery hunting in Kentucky. Didn't see a single deer, never did it again. What?
I've not heard this story before.
No, you have, like 100 times.
Nope. One of us is senile. Who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, I sat in a tree stand for actually like a day and a half, two days, the weekend. Didn't see anything. It was ridiculous. Excuse me. The Halo says, you are an old man. Get the porch to the rocker and then whittle your twigs away.
Halen Wolf
Damn,
says,
kids.
Bronco, I do not have my glasses, here in town for 5K with a plow. Awesome.
Really?
That's pretty good.
It's one of the big ones. I like the big Broncos. Carson says, have you seen the Tool Boss Home Depot holiday promos? Do you know if those previews are real? And if they are, do you think they'll be the same for Black Friday? I have not seen them, so I can't really speculate on them. Cheers from sunny San Diego. Must be nice. Michael says, just reminded me of an old story about Georgia Smith called Mad Holiday about a Christmas blowout on a space station, an attempted murder mystery from Venus Equilateral. Fred says, sad to say, I sold my 6.5 broomstick. I'll send you an email for where you want me to send the broomstick nails. And what's the deal? My guess is 300. Really?
Wow.
That would be awesome. Let me know. Send me an email. I would be happy to take those off your hands. Mike says, howdy y'all. Jeff, you know I bought the Admiral miter saw a couple years ago. When I tighten down the swivel, it wants to walk to the right. Any suggestions on how to stop that? I think I'd have to see it. So send me some pics of what you're talking about or a video.
Yeah.
And send it to my email. It's red@denoftools.com. And we will get to the bottom of this. It's hard for me to visualize right now. But I don't have an Admiral. I'm trying to think. I don't have access to. Yeah. Anyway, send me an email and we'll talk about it. The Fred says all of the printers are off the California coast. Good grief! Good thing we had ours.
Yeah.
We'd actually bought one several months ago. Still had it new in the box, so we gave it to our friend for them to use. Princess Jamie says a Warrior disc exploded on me and it destroyed my face shield. And then a shard punctured my eye. Whoa! I had to go to the hospital, but all is well now and no vision loss. Well, thank goodness.
Oh my gosh. That's awful. I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah.
I'm also super
everybody.
glad
eye protection,
you
eye
were wearing a
protection,
face shield.
And I'll be honest, face shield and eye protection, because as I understand it, face shields are not up to the same quality of resistance as good safety goggles. Jared says, burned up my low-end Dewalt drill, your favorite, in Dewalt battery, but wondering if I should get the XR drill kit for $189 or the Flex drill kit for $179. Boy, that's a hard one to answer. I know I give Dewalt a hard time, but if you're already in Dewalt, they make some great stuff. If you already got the batteries, their XR stuff is pretty decent. And when it's on sale, it's not a bad price. When it's not on sale, the Flex stuff is fantastic. But if you're looking to get a whole bunch of other stuff to go with it, they just don't have it right now. And you're going to have to wait until they do, and we don't know when that's going to be. Kimmer User says, put a Charlie Brown style Christmas tree, micro tree.
Yep.
That's what we did at home last year. The Tin Barn says, what's the future Flex tool line look like? Don't seem to be flying off the shelves at our Lowe's. Small 2.4K person town. Was thinking of buying into the line. Not sure. I mean, it's Chevron's, it's their own line. So I'm guessing, and they're the fourth largest tool company in the world. I'm guessing they're going to keep, stick to it as long as they can. They've been picked up recently by Acme. So Acme is now selling them online as well. So I think there's been some slow rollout because of the limitation of the tools. A lot of people, they made a lot of claims that people took umbrage with. They sent a bunch of YouTubers, tools, and people got upset about that. It doesn't matter what a company seems to do these days. Everyone gets upset about it. What I love is DeWalt flies a bunch of people to the show, a bunch of YouTubers to the show, lets them get hands-on with their new tools, does demos comparing them to the to the Milwaukees. Not one word said from any of these, these fanboys going, well, he did blah, blah, blah. I don't understand why sometimes people go off on this stuff. It was clearly, a biased comparison. And that's what they're going to do. They're trying to market their tools. Anyway, Brandon says, did you get my last 2 tips? She should have read them. She reads all the stuff.
Yes. yes, we did.
Steven says, saw someone using the Hart 1/4-inch impact to remove lug nuts on the Facebook page. What's your thought on that? My thought was, what were those adapters they were? It was like they had 3 or 4 adapters on that thing to get up to that size. But, I'm not surprised. A good impact will. Was it the brushless impact or the regular impact? That's a good question. I didn't actually look into that. Sorry. Frank says, I can get 2 Christmas trees pretty cheap. Don't tell my neighbor. Yeah, we got some BLM land right over here. I can get all the Christmas trees you want. Email me. We'll hook you up.
Right. Sorry, to go back to Brandon. I say them as soon as we get them. So I did say them. I'm sorry if you missed it, but I just wanted you to know we weren't skipping it. We did get them.
What was that chant that was going around? Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
We Are Fuller says, have you got the vid or already had it? Had it. We all had it. Whole family. Except for Duncan, who's apparently immune.
Yep.
Little bugger.
I was like, what video?
He's been exposed multiple times. Just doesn't get it. Mm-hmm. Gary says the supply chain is broken. Ordered Michelin drive tires for my semi in July. They just came in.
Oh my
big
gosh.
bucks. Yep. It is. That's what I'm saying. Don't wait till the last minute thinking, I'm going to wait and get this huge savings. It might not be there, which means there won't be any savings to be had. Well, you'll save lots of money because you won't be able to buy anything.
And I do really think that there is something to be said for making something. If you already have woodworking tools in your shop, make your family something. Some of the most important and precious gifts that I have are things that my dad made me or that my mom made me. So don't underestimate that.
Richard says, Harbor Freight today, the fellow at the counter was pushing the Inside Track Club harder than the extended warranty. Is it worth it? Do they get commission off of selling one? No, they don't get commission, but they are required to sell X amount of them. Per store, I think the manager of the store makes their bonus based off of Inside Track Club and extended warranty. Here's my take on it. If you only shop there every so often, don't buy it. If you do make some significant purchase there, or they're there like at least once a month, then get it.
Yeah.
I had somebody comment, and you know what? You're all welcome to your own opinion. But somebody said, I showed some of these deals. I showed how much you saved. And I said, well, based on that, get the Inside Track Club if you don't already have it. He's like, I'm like, it's math. You can't argue with math. He's like, I don't care what the math says. I can shop other places. I'll never buy the Inside Track Club.
Okay.
If you have to buy the same thing, if Harbor Freight's got it for $800, someplace else has it for $1,000, but Harbor Freight's going to make you spend an additional $30 to take that $800 item down to $700 or $600, you're not going to buy that because you feel you're what's the word I'm looking for? The indignation of having to buy it. Mm-hmm. I won't buy that, and I'll go spend the $1,000.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
But that's the point. They're not able to comprehend.
They are. They just don't want to. They get so worked up over they're forcing me to do this. I won't do it. I'll show them.
Right.
You're not showing anybody. And I'll be honest, as somebody who's run businesses, I don't have to think twice. I do the math in my head. That's the deal. If I have to spend $100 to save $1,000, I'll do it every single time. Richard says, we just talked about that. Cheap Deals says, any Harbor Freight... I just did a video on Harbor Freight tool deals on Saturday morning.
Jeff Toohey just wrote us a message.
Jeff!
He says, hi, neighbors. You missed an epic bonfire and barbecue. I know, we're super bummed. I need a circular saw around here, not Dewalt. Milwaukee? So, Jeff, I am super sorry that we weren't able to make it to the bonfire. We were so bummed. But I'm glad that it was amazing.
I was trying to think if I had one I could just give him.
But he's saying he doesn't want DeWalt, so Milwaukee, like basically your recommendation.
Makita. I'm not a huge fan of the Milwaukee circ saws. Dewalt, I think right now has the best going cordless circ saws. If you're looking for corded, get a skill saw. But for cordless, I would rank it as DeWalt, Makita, anybody else. I'm not a fan. I mean, the Milwaukee ones are decent, but for the price, I don't think they're as good as the price says they are compared to like the DeWalt Flex Volts or the Makitas and stuff like that. Fred says, I haven't really been looking, but Harbor Freight, are their shelves thinning out? I was just in the Harbor Freight, and they seemed like they had a lot of stuff, but everything I looked for, they were out of. But they still had a lot of stuff. Wasn't like going into Walmart and seeing just completely empty aisles. Frank says, ZZ top that beard. There you go. Carson says, have you seen the tool? We answered that one. Kirk says, next month I will be 1 year. I had to shave off my beard for surgery. I'm back to grizzly now. Good for you. Princess Jamie says, the last Jeep Marathon prompted 10 trips to Harbor Freight and Ace in 6-day span.
Whoa.
My new hardware store at the new shop location is Ace, and it is the most stocked Ace I've ever seen, especially for bolts. Our Ace around here is really good on the hardware. They have a huge hardware section. We've been able to pick up lots of stuff, plumbing and other things. Although, honestly, if I can, I always check out Dan over at Riverside Hardware in Livingston, Montana on Main Street. Check him out. Dude is absolutely fantastic. Fred says, can you believe what they're paying for truck drivers up to a $20,000 signing bonus? California is now working with a high school program to prep people for becoming truck drivers. Fred Hill says, does Biden know what planet he's on? I don't know if Biden knows who Biden is. Helen Wolf says, so looking at getting my first resin printer. Can't wait. Woohoo. What are you getting? The, what do you call it? The Elegoo Mars? Those things are for the money. They're fantastic.
Again, pictures. Just saying pictures.
All right. Where'd it go? Princess Jamie says, CJ7 for around town. See, that's what I keep telling her. But there isn't, the last week I looked, there was not a single CJ7 for sale within 500 miles. At least it was advertised online.
The text message I sent you 2 hours ago just arrived.
Michael says, I use fairly cheap PLA. There's some nylons. They're very strong. Check out YouTube. There's a guy whose thing is measuring how strong filaments is. I saw that channel. That is a pretty cool channel. Frank says, you need to go to Bronner's Christmas store in Frankenmuth, Missouri. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
I want to go to Missouri.
Bullwinkle says, I hear Subarus have a few left for sale. I just see a Suburban for sale. I'm like, I need something small. Frank says, who punched me in the ear? Tim says, is Harbor Freight 15-piece router bit set a good starter bit set? Honestly, if you're looking for just a starter, like fill in everything, I'd get one of those big jumbo sets off of Amazon and go with that. And then, I don't buy the Harbor Freight ones. And then what I do is I get that big set, and then when I need specific ones where I'm going to do like a big project with, it's going to use that one a lot, then I'll go out and I'll buy a higher end bit, like a Bosch or something like that for that project.
Sorry, family stuff.
Princess Jamie says, Dewalt is attributed, DW is attributed, Death Wobble, she's talking about, attributed with solid axles that utilize a track bar and link setup. Happens in the oscillating motion when the axle cannot locate the center, so it will resonate on a lateral plane. She would know. John White says, what? Like she's the expert, Jeep expert around here. John White says, I became a Stave and Thief Society Executive Bourbon Steward this year. It's a great chaining class, lots of fun. That sounds like a cool thing. Fred says, the garage is almost empty. We have to have the sinking garage floor jackhammered out and report. Still trying to get to get my late mother-in-law's house up for sale. Oh.
Frankenmuth is in Michigan. Sorry, Michigan folks. I'm tired. It's my fault.
I'm not going to correct her because she'll stab me. James Brown.
That's right.
You know, I saw you in concert years ago. So I'm boring. Maybe a RAV4. Don't even have to get a new one. Great. It's a great option. Again, that's something I would wear. I could take out the driver's seat and I could sit in the back seat and drive. and a all-wheel drive. I don't need another BMW.
No. Nope.
I already have one. I don't need a second one. Halo Wolf says, clean as hell inside of that Bronco. Well, bring it on up. I'll take a look at it. Pete says, hello, great to see you guys again. Jeff, have you ever heard of a tool company called Maxwa? Maxwa? I'm a cabinet maker, and they have some great tools. No, I've not heard of them. Sorry.
How do we pronounce it, Pete?
Camera user says, organic, raw, unfiltered honey may help your sinuses. I told my boss to eat it sparingly for his allergies. Allergies went away within a week. It's not allergies. It's when the temperature changed, my sinuses act like a barometer. And then they'll after about an hour or so, they'll calm down.
It gets over itself, yeah.
Yep. Are you guys in a cabin? No, this is my new shop. I'm going to do a shop tour here soon. Fred Hill says, forgot to tell you, I had lower back pain for years.
Oh, my gosh.
I got an MRI. I have 12 herniated bulging discs with 5 pinched nerves. Oh, my gosh.
You may have to have back surgery, honey.
I'm sorry if you have to have
I'm
surgery.
not a doctor, but I'm pretty sure you're going to need to have them fix that.
But let's hope it alleviates that pain, because
Yes.
back pain
Oh, my gosh.
sucks.
Like labor, dental pain, and then back pain for me.
Michael says, as a 30-year safety professional, you are 100% correct. Face shields are not eye protection. 2 totally different safety testing standards. Chaka, BLM has land in Montana. Looks like they're expanding. For those of you who don't know, Bureau of Land Management. And apparently there is no BLM land. The BLM land is awesome. Anybody can use it. You can camp on it for free for 14 days straight. And then you just got to move like 100 yards or something. We got people out here who, up until winter, they kind of do the whole gypsy thing around here. Then winter comes and they leave. Fred says, I think you told us the house cordless tools. You don't need brushless cordless spray. You don't need brush. You do not need brushless power tools for DIY home kind of stuff. It might be nice. It will certainly extend battery life on a lot of tools, but you don't need it. All right. Let me put it this way. I did construction for years, and I used a brushless tool never, because they didn't have them. We barely had cordless tools. We managed to build houses back then. My house right now was built 140 years ago out of stone. It's 1.5 foot thick walls. Guess what they didn't have? They didn't have brushless tools back then. I love all these people real pros never do it without brushless. I'm like, people did it for hundreds, thousands of years without brushless. Wonder how the pyramids got built.
And again, necessity is the mother of invention. People have this idea that like, I could never go without Starbucks. I'm like, you can go without a lot of things.
Yeah.
You need food and water. Water more than food.
And a good partner.
And a good partner. And you can do
and
it.
Faith.
Yeah.
Neil says, Jessica, you need to type. Oh, thank you. And let's see here. We're trying to wrap things up. We're overtime. We're in sudden death overtime here. So let me catch up as quick as I can. Well, Hawk says about the 600 foot of paracord later, and I have a hammock. Yes, that's a lot of paracord. Must be a strong hammock. Frankenmuth, Michigan. Traveler X says, do you think the 10 to 50% coupon on U.S. General boxes will be around Thanksgiving, Christmas? Do you think? No, I don't. I think if you missed it, you missed it. It might pop back up. I wouldn't count on it. Just because of the supply chain again. They're going to spend the next 6 weeks just trying to fill those orders. Josh says, Dentals, when is the U.S. General side locker coming back? It's been slowly rolling in, and as soon as they come in, stores sell them. It's really, really slow. Mike says, what year model Dodge 3500 did you get? Mine's a 99. 2014. It's the 6.7 Cummins, and it's another Bighorn, just like my half ton. And I love it. I love that truck. Dental, we're talking about almost got a smack upside the head, killing what 10 said. Bones says, any idea good deals for a 1-ton shop crane? Used to say Harbor Freight there because they're the only ones who have something like that. Probably used Craigslist kind of stuff. I know it's not. You're not going to just open it up and find it, but that's probably going to be your best bet. Fred says, what about a used 4x4 used truck? This time of year in Montana? No, you're not going to get anything 4x4 for cheap.
Yeah.
Elite Reviews says, are you a carpenter or mechanic? Not anymore. I was never a mechanic, was a carpenter. Why is everyone asking the same question? I've answered this for years. It's out there.
Maybe they're a new viewer, and that's why they're asking.
Frank Landgraf says, it has reached my bedtime. You take care. Have a great week. You too.
Have a super great night.
Spud says, love the antlers, but please stay out of the woods. Without your that's... Donna Ross says, back pain while in labor was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, it was awful.
You're like, that's it. We're canceling this. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yep.
Mater's Workshop, just found out that you're on. Mater, how you doing, man? Den of Tools. I'd consider a used 4x4 side by side like a Gator. I've been looking for a Gator. I have, and I almost got a sweet deal on a quad. And I told them, I'll take it. When can I come and get it? They told me. They said next day. I called them next day. They're like, oh, sorry, it sold last night.
We said
if
we were
getting it. If you told me
it.
to come and get it,
we would have come that night.
The Chaka says, oh, not my BLM. No. Fred says there is no BLM or BOR land east of the Mississippi. Not as far as I know. Bullwinkle says, have you seen the demo on the coping foot attachment for jigsaws used for barrel? They're not just for barrel style, but yeah, I've seen them. They've been around for a while. And I thought about doing a video and showing people on how to do coping cuts and stuff like that. But there's a lot of them out there. I don't know. Pete says Maxiwa, an incredible edge bander that runs 100 volt for just a couple $1,000s. Ooh, I think I did see that actually. And yeah, I don't need something like that. Fred says, Mrs. DeBear, kidney stones too.
I have heard that. I have not had them, but I have heard they're awful.
Oh, Pete says 110 volts. That sounds much more reasonable. I figured that's what you meant. Michael says, check your email. Sent you some stuff that may or may not have been useful. Real nice to have you back. This is good for the soul. Radio mic on VB.
We missed you.
Opinions on torque sticks. I never use them. I don't know. I've never used torque sticks. I know they're out there. I know what they're supposed to do. I don't know if they actually do them. Do they work? Tom says, great truck, and the ranch hand front bumpers are best. Been around as long as I can remember, my 54 years on both our trucks. Gary says, there is not a driver shortage. No one wants to work or the hours and went home all the time. The fun of 60-hour weeks and the weather. Oh my gosh. I got almost stranded coming back from Bozeman. I was able to turn around because I have a giant 4x4. Me and 4 guys in similar sized trucks all said, screw this, went right through the middle of the snow, turned around, went back because there was a pile up. There were like a dozen of them. And the truckers couldn't make it up the hill to the pass coming back into Livingston. Yeah. And there had to be a couple hundred trucks stranded overnight. I can imagine having to drive, and that's your job, and you have to deal with that. That would suck. I was lucky enough. I'm like, no, I'm going to go this way. Went back to Bozeman, got a really nice hotel room, crashed, came back and did it again the next day when it was clear. And it was totally fine. Michael says, let's have some fun. Tell people it's okay to camp out on Operation Plowshare Land, a.k.a. former new... No, we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. Fred Hill says, good night. Ashok Moge, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, says, good evening from California, joining late, but anyways, greetings. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, but we're wrapping things up. I'm sorry you got in here at the tail end because that's it. We're up to speed. Yep. I hope that answers your questions. Basically, the takeaway for Black Friday is this. If it goes on sale and it's a price you think that is even remotely close to your price, your buy-it price, buy it now because there's no guarantee it's going to be in stock. And there's also no guarantee there's actually going to be big sales come the week of Black Friday because they may not have the staff to actually staff those sales. Right. That's your takeaway. Anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on. You went the wrong way.
No, I went the right way. You went the wrong way.
Whichever way I go is the right way.
Okay. And on that note.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great night.